consultant.
Sorry, I'm just going to record it so I don't lose track of it. Thanks.
That's fine. Yeah, I had a knee injury. Then I was climbing trees for a long time. They got to 20 years as a climbing arborist. I had a knee injury, and then I've been upskilling over the last while, and I want to start my own consultancy. I'm going to be writing tree reports and doing some, hopefully now, technical training with Lantra. So in light of that, I want somebody to be able to look after accounts for a small business like what I would have to support myself, because I find that trying to keep on top of being a consultant is enough for me at the moment.
All right. Okay.
I need some help with that.
And what type of, so there's no, it's just yourself, is it? There's no one working for you?
No, it'll just be myself for now. I mean, who knows, later on, maybe I will need somebody, but for now, it'll just be me, I think, as a sole trader. But I'll happy to take advice on that either at the same time.
Okay, a couple of things that come into it. One of them is VAT.
Yeah.
Will you be doing over 35,000 a year in consultancy, do you think?
Maybe not in the first year, but maybe the second or third.
Okay. And apart from the consultancy, have you any other sidelines gone on?
No, not at the moment. So hopefully I have a portfolio gone to Lantra for training, and that's what I really want to do then. But I'm waiting. I only posted it then last week, so they got it on Friday by registered post. So I was hoping to get a call this week. So they run 2 courses that I'm eligible for now: basic tree inspection and highway trees inspection. So they're 2 courses that I can hopefully run then if I get the go ahead. And obviously that will incur more expenses for me, as in I need new laptops and training materials and things to support that. Okay.
Right. And what are you doing right now? Have you started, or where are you?
No, I haven't started yet. No, okay. I have quotes got from my professional indemnity now from a company in England. I have that got, and I'd say I've been upskilling to qualify myself to teach these things and write reports. So this is my next port of call. I had a lot of hurdles to get over before I could get going for myself, you know.
All right. Well, it seems quite clear you'll be running the business in your own name. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's involved there is we register your PPS number with the tax man to say, I'm here, this is my business.
Yeah.
And I'll be sending you in accounts and a tax return once a year. That's kind of, we tell him, he acknowledges we've told him, that's it for the moment with them. Okay. And now we are very online accountants. So the program we use is an English program called QuickBooks.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah. And so there's 3 grades. Now we can send you the licenses. So there's 3 grades. I'm just thinking which grade would do you the best. There's 1 grade, it really just follows expenses, you know. So there's 2 types of documents as a business grows. There's one which is money in, money out, and there's another one which is a balance sheet which shows what we own and owe. One's like a photograph, and one is like a river going by, you know, the whole time. And so I'm thinking initially, the way it works is we email you an invite, we set it up for you behind the scenes. You have an app on your phone. You can also log in online and look at your accounts and issue invoices and all this to your customers and edit them and all that, and email out. So we show you how to use that, and really that's kind of all we do, unless we kind of have a maintenance thing, which it seems to be the way people are going now. All right, what we used to do is just train them, let them off, okay, and charge them more per month for minding them. But some of them are going fine, and loads of them are just hiring us to mind them every month. So the minding every month is about 50 quid a month, okay? Well, it's 49 plus VAT. And I'm about to get back to 2 people there now and stuff. So that's probably where you're going, okay?
Okay.
So I can...
how... Myself and my wife, and I don't know how or why this happens, but our tax credits are joint. How will that affect, if I go ahead and set this up, how will that affect her tax credits, or how does that work?
What does she work at the moment?
How to describe herself now? She does commercial travel for World Choice, I think.
Okay.
She works from home.
Grant, the two of you at the moment, so she has your tax credits, is it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. So if she's, whatever she's getting paid at the moment, instead of having 80 euros a week tax free,
Yeah.
160 euros a week tax free, okay?
Okay.
Because you were probably upskilling and learning stuff and didn't need to use it.
Yeah.
So we need to take your side of it away from her, okay?
Yeah.
Is she an employee or is she self-employed?
She's employee.
Employee, yeah. So she's got plenty of credits there anyway, right? She's got 80 a week for being Irish. She's got 80 a week for being an employee. And she's another 80 a week from you. Okay, that's what she has.
She's getting off light, so.
So would take your side of it off her and give it back to you. But you also would get an additional self-employed tax credit of another 80 a week.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So that would trigger. Well, it sometimes can be good advice to keep the two of you together, okay? Because it keeps you in the lower tax rate longer. That's basically it.
Yeah.
But if for some reason it was interfering with you or her by being jointly assessed, we can separate you that she does her own tax return if she needs to. She might need to when she's employed, and you do yours. So we'll say you're separate. On yours, it'll say, this is me, I'm married to this lady, this is the date you got married, both your PPS numbers are there, but it's only my tax affairs on this tax return, okay?
Oh, okay, I got you, yeah.
That's what goes on. And if we're going to do that, it's too late for this year. But for next year, 2022, as long as we tell the tax man before 31 January, he'll allow us detach like that. So
okay.
I'd say initially starting off, I'd keep the two of you together.
Yeah.
If your business, was slow getting off the ground or anything, and you lost money, she will get taxed back.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, because in the tree world here, I'm going to have to work pretty hard to get this going. Do you know?
Right.
So I'm not expecting, and I don't need to take over the world either at the same time. And that was never my ambition. And the training part is a huge thing for me. I'm very much more into my technical side. My technical aspect of my consultancy would be more than anything, even to mapping canopies and carbon sequestration and things like that. Rather, I'm not interested anymore in being on the end of a saw or anything like that. So that's where I am at the moment, and that's where I'll head. In another few years, then I want to upskill my Lantra profile, and that will enable me to teach more courses. And the further I get down the line, then the more I can teach and the more valuable I'll be, and the greater the turnover.
Okay.
So that's where I am at the moment, and I just wanted to make sure that these things are all good and well, and people will tell you, you just go on to Ross and you do this and you do that, and a fella like me, you get yourself into awful trouble awful quick. And I just want to know that everything is okay, really. That's just my main concern, that I want everything to be all right.
Yeah, I can give you an idea of what's the different elements to it. We just open up a thing here. So I'm just going to open up our menu proposal.
Yeah.
Just so, and I can send this through to you to think about and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do.
But go proposal.com. Yeah. Let's get up I'll share the screen now in a second. Okay. So this is our pricing tool for the different things that are going on. And yeah, there's a lot to it. But once you go into it with your eyes open, you'll be happy enough. So, but I'm doing up something for every client. And we were rattling about 30 of these out a month. So you'll be from scratch. Sole trader. Okay. I was asking about the VAT. So let's say you'd be 30 to 70. That makes no difference really to what we're about to look at.
Okay.
Let's say title on it. Accounting, setup and support.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just click on bookkeeping. Now there's no VAT, so you can ignore all that, but straight away you get an idea that different things might have to be done.
Yeah.
No. Would you ever be, who would be your typical client, funnily enough? Because RCT works.
Well, that can be very wide and varied, you see, because a lot of what I do is down to duty of care. So to say you're out in Clifton and you've some mature beech trees around the edges of your property, you have a duty of care to protect anybody that passes within failure distance of that tree. So to say if you had fungal brackets growing on that tree for 20 years and it fell over across the road and landed on a bus, then the court might, if it eventually went to court, then they might say, well, sure, did you not ever look at the tree? Did you not ever notice any decay? Did you ever notice any dieback? Did you never, do you know? So you have a responsibility. Everybody has a responsibility of duty of care.
Okay.
So it could be a private owner, it could be OPW, it could be council, it could be companies.
Okay, if it ends up, say, being a school or the OPW or a contract, building contractor, there's this thing to be aware of. Well, our relevant contracts tax. And it just means when you build them, even before you build them, you have to register where you're working and who you're working for on ROC.
Yeah.
Okay. And when they're paying you, they'll put in your tax number, and the taxman will say whether to pay your full invoice or to hold back 20 or 35%. That also applies to builders themselves.
Yeah.
And applies to people in the meat processing industry. Okay. So.
Right. That's a varied.
So that'll be that one. So that might come up. All right.
That might come up, you see, because some of the reports that I'll be writing, it's called 5837, and it's treason related to the built environment. And you get a lot of that where builders want to retain certain trees on a site. And then you have to work out root protection areas and things like that. So, so that one might come into it.
Might come into it. I can't remember what that looked like now when I see the price of it, because we often teach people like you how to do it yourselves.
Yeah.
All right. But so we might do it at the start and then it'll fall away for us. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
QuickBooks subscription only. I'm going to go at the bottom one for you, which is below what Susanna would be on now, for instance. And the support, you'd probably need that, which would be that we come back to you within 5 days. We tend to monitor it all the time, but if you have a query to us on our support line, it gives us time. We have 5 days to check it out. We email you back a recorded video of what we've done to help to show you how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And so, you know, or, you know, if it doesn't need a video, I've just done one here for someone, you know.
Yeah. So, that sounds good. Like you're teaching me how to fish rather than giving me the fish.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And you can do your own sales invoice, and we've some recordings as well. End of the year, then you would have a personal tax return submission. It's the end of the year stuff now, but just your wife, if she's on it, her employment section.
Yeah.
The self-employment section for you would be there. Okay, I'll check medical expenses because they may come up. Okay, and up the top again. And at this stage, you know, depending on how you're keeping the records, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say we're going to do it on a yearly basis. So it's 5 grades. First, the 5th grade is you're not online at all and full assembly. And where we like people to be is grade 1 or grade 2. That they're online, we have your business bank account connected. So I'd also advise you to set up a separate bank account, preferably with AIB or Bank of Ireland, because it connects in with this program, and the bank send over each day money that come in, money that come out.
All right. Okay.
You'll see in the training that when you're entering receipts, it's looking for the receipt for the money that was paid out and who the money came from. So it gets quite automated. And if you're online, now we've 2 programs, Dext and QuickBooks. Now I'm just talking about one of them to you.
Yeah, you're talking about QuickBooks, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a 25% discount if you're at the top grade here, right? So we aim to bring you there. Yes. I think that's all we'd need then. you know, but we'll read the end of year anyway. So
Yeah.
So okay, well the RCT is €50 per submission, so you wouldn't be going for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was allowing between 1 and 3 there. Okay.
Right.
So that'll come off now in a second. I couldn't even remember what that was. It is tricky, but once you get used to it, I have builders who do it themselves all the time. You know.
Yeah.
You register the contract. You say I'm about to pay this person. There's a little bit to it, but it's not insurmountable.
Yeah, we'll get there. Like.
But end of year stuff, you're looking at 877 plus VAT on a once-off basis for doing the annual accounts. And monthly, you're looking. I'll just update that. I'll just take up the RCT there. You're looking at 67.65, including VAT.
The month.
And that gives you the QuickBooks subscription and the support and the training. Yeah. Now, if you were a bigger business, would have there's a different setup situation where there's a bit more programming to be done, but just so you know, but that wouldn't be coming in here.
Can you say that again, please? Could you repeat that?
Yeah, if you were a bigger business now, just
yeah, exactly. I'm only tiny, and it's only going to be me for now. So so relatively straightforward in that regard.
Yeah, so you're coming up from the lower level, we'll say.
Yeah.
Low days of all support. But anyway, that gives you an idea of what you're going.
Absolutely. If you could send something on to me, then and we can have a think about it, and we'll get back to you then. Once we can register, that'd be great.
Okay, just see. Okay, what's your address, Andrew?
It is Kinreask. It's KINREASK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gurteen, GURTEEN. It's Ballinasloe, County Galway.
Hello. Okay, and your number?
Telephone number?
Yeah, please.
087.
Yeah.
225 32 22.
Okay. Wait that there a second.
And we're H53 HN56.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I'll have a look through that then with my wife, and then we can get back to you then.
Yeah, and the end of year stuff, you can view it as what's the word? Indicative, because until we get there, we can't grade the accounts. You know.
Yes.
So I'll leave it on there, and it'll ask you to confirm it and stuff like that. But if you do, we'll only be confirming the monthly side of it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And you can take that as being, you know, we'll see what
you
need.
You see, you can't obviously you can't start anything. You can't start doing anything until you're registered and have my professional indemnity done. You have all these things to do before you can, in my end of it, to start trading even. You know, so.
Yeah, your main first thing would be, I think, to open a separate business bank account.
Yes.
That'd be the first thing, you know. And
okay.
But on the program, we can send you an invite if you go ahead.
Yeah.
And all that. We'll set up an invoice for you, depending on what way you want. We can just have one called sales, and you fill in the verbal side of it. Or if there's different levels of service you're going to give, such as, I don't know, report A, B, and C, we'll say, and the different price levels. We can set up you click report A, B, and C, and it'll pre-write some of what you're going to be doing, or it'll prompt you.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So yeah, do that too. And that's, I'm just getting your email here. And that's how that works, you know, but it does work good. Anything you do, we can keep an eye on it. And if you need a hand.
That's perfect. That's all I wanted. Somebody just behind me to give me a prod and say, well, you haven't done this, or you need to do that, or keep an eye on this. Do you know, it's invaluable, really. You know.
It is, yeah. And we have a couple of recorded webinars that when you go onto the full when you go into the laptop there yourself and want to have a look at it, they're only 1 hour long. I've done for that company, and it's good just to sit down in your own time with a cup of tea and just play it and trick around with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What to do.
Yeah.
And if we need to upgrade the package, depending on what you're being charged here, it's never going to go much above what you're going to see there.
Okay.
€6, I think that dearest it goes to 15 plus VAT, you know.
And that's no bad.
And that's only if you have a couple of lads working for you.
Yeah. Well, that's who knows that down the line we'll see. But for now, I'm only really worried about myself and getting going and getting Lantra on board, and that'll be me a happy bunny for another while.
Okay. And so I'll send this to you now. And sometimes we do a video with it, but you'll have this video anyway. So
okay.
The other thing is too, at the once-off year, we have discounts and payment plans. Depending on what suits you. That's for the once-off stuff at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So you'll see the relevance of that, but it's a bit ahead now. When do you see yourself starting? I'm just thinking of year ends here.
Hopefully now, once they had something come up there last week then, so it'll be in the very near future.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be missing out on things either at the same time. You know, jobs will be passing me by and you can't take them on because you're not registered and you don't have insurance got and all the rest of it, you know. So there's no good. You can't sit in the seat waiting for the first job to come along and then register. You have to jump in with both feet and be ready.
Yeah, the first thing I'd see happening for you is we're coming up on December 21.
Yeah.
So your first tax return would be 2021. So you might have 2 or 3 months worth of work on this together with your wife.
Yeah.
And that tax return would need to be filed before next October 31st, 22.
Okay.
Okay. So you get that experience under your belt.
Yeah.
And then you have a full 12 months of a run before it happens again, you know? So
yeah.
So, but just little timings there, and so you understand it. Okay. All right. I'll see if that goes to you now.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I forgot the capital B on your surname. Sorry about that. And so yeah, that's something to look through, and I'll email you a copy of this as well, this recording.
Lovely stuff.
So you can see what we chatted about.
Yeah.
And but that's indicative of what you need right now, I believe, you know. And
that's perfect. That's what I wanted, is somebody. I just want somebody you can call on if you're ever unsure, and somebody to poke me in the right direction and say, keep an eye on this or go this way, or, you know, because there's so many plates to juggle already for myself that I just want some peace of mind. That's really what I want.
That's fine. And if you go ahead with this, we'll see you physically at some stage. Don't worry, it won't always be on a computer, you know. And
yeah, absolutely. That'd be nice.
Pass that way. I have a lad in school in Roscrea in Tipperary there, so it's not that far from you. So.
No, that's perfect. Thanks a million for your time, Kevin, and I'll have a look through that and I'll get back to you shortly, okay?
That sounds okay. Thanks for this shout.
Thanks a million.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.